All right. Well, welcome everybody to the weekly press conference here, sponsored by Mississippi Farm Bureau. Last Saturday, our Delta State football team at home got a 27-24 victory. So let's open up the comments here from head coach Todd Cooley.
Good afternoon. Hope everybody's had a good weekend and good start to the week. Really excited. Obviously, Fort Valley played a really tough game against us. We were able to come from behind. I was proud of the grit that our team showed in the second half. Nobody panicked. Thought we kept playing hard and made enough plays down the stretch to get a hard-fought victory at home. And I think what our young men have to understand is everybody's going to give their best shot to us, and that happened Saturday night. We played a really good Fort Valley team, and they got a lot of talent over there, as I said last week, and Coach Gibbs and his staff doing an excellent job, and they came in here and played a really good football game, a clean football game, and got after us. And I was excited. I thought a big turning point was second play of the second half. I felt like we scored a touchdown, got it called back. That was a big kind of gut punch, coming out of halftime right there, but we were able to overcome it in the third quarter and fourth quarter and win the game. Thought our defense played a tremendous second half of football. Thought they tackled better in the second half, shut the run game down, made Fort Valley one-dimensional, which is what we needed to do. Really proud of that effort on that side of the ball. I thought, even though we had a punt blocked, I thought we played with more effort on special teams this week. I thought our kickoff return unit, Michael Carley, stepped up. They kicked to him instead of our primary returner, and Michael Carley made them pay. I think Michael Carley played one of the best games he's played since he's been a Delta State Statesman. Really proud of his efforts. I thought our kickoff cover unit was what they're supposed to be. A lot of touchbacks by Parker Burleson. And then, obviously, Nick Herbert coming through in the clutch like we always figure he will. That was big for us. And, hey, man, big win. Proud of our quarterback. Thought he played his heart out, and I was excited about that. And I thought our home crowd was awesome. Not as big a crowd as we had for our first one, but the crowd that was there they got into the game. And, obviously another big play was the blocked field goal. Blocked field goal in the second half was a huge momentum swing, and you kind of felt a lot of energy on our sidelines once we made that play. So back to work this week. Got to go on the road again, back to the Carolinas again. Third time in 5 weeks, and got to get better, obviously. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
In the course of the game, and also kind of looking back at it with players, there was a couple of drives where y'all committed penalties that kind of helped them score points. When it comes to going over mistakes and players looking at mistakes, what's the biggest thing that you look for in their reaction to it, and are you getting that with this team right now?
Ownership. Biggest thing is ownership. Just owning your mistakes. That's kind of teaching a young man how to be a man. Own to what you do and then get it corrected. I think for the most part we're owning them. I think there's still some guys that try to make excuses, and that's disappointing. But those guys are being called out for that, and that's how you overcome that and get better. But you got to own your mistakes, and you got to accept them, and you got to then correct them. So it's a great question.
On the third down conversions, y'all struggled at times.
We sucked the last 2 weeks. Just call a spade a spade. We sucked. We got to get better. Some of it was self-inflicted. A lot of it was, we're doing things that, we're just not getting it done, So we went from being a 52% through the first couple of games, and the last 2 years we've been over 50%. The last 2 games I think we've been around 25. It just can't happen. We have absolutely been horrific on third downs, and we've had too many third and longs, just to be honest with you. And when we got a third and medium, we didn't get it done. Tied the game on a 3rd and 12. That was the drive that tied the game early in the fourth quarter. That was a big time play. I'm sorry, I think we took the lead with that drive, but we converted a 3rd and 12. We needed it. But we have not done well on third downs, and that is a point of emphasis.
As far as Cole's hand, how was that feeling Saturday?
What'd you think? I thought he looked pretty good. I thought he was fine. No, he's tough. He's tough. And, he converted another 3rd down in the third quarter. He handled everything. He handled the check. He checked the play and then popped the run. And I felt at that moment he was not going to be denied Saturday night. And I think he took a big step, because it's it still is a come-from-behind victory, and that helps a quarterback's confidence, and finding different ways to win. That's what good teams do. And I'm still saying we got a chance to be a good team. We're not there yet, but we're going to be before it's all said and done. I think we're going to be a tough out for people, and I think we've already been through a lot. I think we've traveled more than any other team in Division II football as far as miles go, and that will probably continue as we go another 9 or 10 this weekend, however far it is. But we've been through a lot already. So we've been tested. We get tested every week, and he's had to play through an injury now. And, but I'm pleased with him, and I thought he looked pretty good.
I noticed toward the end of the game, running the ball, you went with Tamaje Hoffman a lot. As far as KJ Smith, was he hurt, or was it just Tamaje the right time?
It's Tamaj. It was Tamaje played last year. It was his turn in the rotation. We feel like we've got 3 backs, and it's their turn. And it was Quaylen's turn to spell him, and Quaylen came in and busted the long run. Quaylen averaged over 6 yards a carry. So that's a guy that's a little quiet guy that just does everything he's supposed to do every day. So I'm pleased with all the running backs that played. But that was why he was in there at that point.
Toward the end of the game on the drive where Nick completed with a field goal, there was a play right before that where the guy catches the ball, but he was out of bounds, and then when y'all kicked the ball off to Fort Valley at that time, knowing their offense, did you feel like they may have had a little too much time to score?
Yeah, probably so. We probably left them too much time, but at the same time, we were trying to score a touchdown, and it got down there to, we lost 5 yards on first down, uncharacteristic, but we had too many tackles for loss the other night, and that got addressed pretty clearly this morning by Coach Fletcher with the offensive line and our running backs and everybody else. We get down there and we got 3rd down and goal from the 10, and you're trying to score a touchdown because of their offense. I want to get 7. And Coach Fletcher, the discussion was to throw a ball over the middle, right, which we thought was there. And I chose to throw the pass to the boundary. And probably a poor call on my part, but I knew it's either there or it's not. If it's there, we got a chance to score. But either way, we're not going to turn the ball over. And I know Nick's still going to make the kick. So getting it out of bounds, that was unfortunate because it did stop the clock, and they didn't have to use a timeout, so we kind of helped them there. But it was, in my opinion, it was the most calculated, safest call. And I trust our defense, man. They were playing good. They gave up a touchdown after a blocked punt, and it took them 4 downs to score from the 5-yard line, and they nearly didn't get in. So I was really proud of our defense and felt confident that we were going to get a touchback or at least pin them deep, and they were going to have to go some ways. And so worked out.
How sweet was that interception at the end of the game?
It was nice. I thought we were going to get one to play before, but once he caught it, I just wanted him to get down. Just get down and let's go home, So, but he's made a smart play, made a guy miss, and then he got down, so it was a good play.
On the team y'all are playing this week, just kind of just talk about some of the things that they do well.
Well, right now, they're kind of struggling the last couple of weeks. Valdosta, they just played Valdosta State, who's probably, obviously, preseason #1 pick, and for good reason. And they did their way with them pretty much on Saturday. So what you got to understand is their backs are against the wall. They got us for homecoming. They're going to be fired up. So what we saw on tape last week is not what we're fixing to get this Saturday. So they're a 3 high safety defense, very multiple on offense. They got some good players. So can we go handle a road trip, and play better than we did the last time on the road? It's going to be the whole key.
Coach, now that you're beginning GSC play, how would you grade the way your team has played, a letter grade perhaps, and why during the first 4 games?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. Overall, you'd probably have to say, we're 3-1, so you'd probably have to say somewhere around that B plus, maybe. There's been times when we played like A, and there's been times when we played low D's to high F's, So we're not satisfied, obviously. We're not happy with some of the things that we did Saturday night. I know I'm not. I know they're not either. Talking about our players. But, with our schedule, if you'd have told me through the first 4 games we're going to be 3-1, I probably would have taken that last May when we set the schedule. So I don't think we're in a bad spot. We've been tested. We've had 2 tough road games. We're undefeated at home. So we still got everything ahead of us.
And looking back at Saturday's win, offensively, it seemed like you were pretty balanced, run and pass, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 39 passes compared to 34 runs. Is that, from a play calling standpoint, is that what you're striving for? Is that kind of more dictated on what the defense is doing?
Yeah, there's a lot of factors. We don't ever go out and think like that. It just sometimes works out that way. I'm thinking more, what's the play call for the situation? What are we doing well at that time? What's been working? I give a lot of credit to our offensive staff, starting with Coach Fletcher and Coach Bell, Coach Cunningham. Those guys are making a ton of adjustments during the game while I'm still out, and I'm listening, but they know I'm over there having to make decisions whether we're going to take a penalty on defense, and I'm coaching some special team stuff too. So I don't even hardly go over there to the offensive side. I don't have to because I've got great coaches and they handle it. But a lot of stuff you see is coming from what they're seeing, early in the game and the adjustments that they're making. So I don't know, man. We just whatever it takes to try to score some points. We need to score some more of them. We need to convert some third downs, as Andy asked me about earlier, and that keeps drives alive.
And you touched on the team you're facing next in college. Coming off a huge blowout loss to Valdosta State, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, when you see scores like that, sometimes you think it may be a cakewalk. How do you guard against going up against an opponent where, looking at their numbers, confidence could maybe be a factor, maybe a concern going into a game like this?
Yeah, that always creeps in. I think that's a great question. My answer to that would have been, you should have been here at 6:15 this morning. Because I think if anybody thinks we're confident right now after that meeting, we got a lot to work on. And, not pleased with the effort, for the most part, but some of the execution and just, things that we know we can fix. We have not fixed yet. And that's concerning. That's concerning. But it's not – it'd be different if I was sitting here saying we got to do this, this, and this, and there are things that we cannot do. These are things that are simple that we can fix. But, yes, that's something that has crept in. But if we're mature enough to try to be a championship football team, we've got to be mature enough to go on the road and take the numbers out and say we're trying to go play better than they are today. And that's the mindset that we're trying to get here right now. So I felt like we did that in the second half on Saturday. Did not feel like we did that in the first half on Saturday, and that's disappointing. So I got to figure that out. But I'll do a better job coaching it, and we'll be better because of it.
And Cole, just the distribution of his passes.
Yeah, I saw that a while ago. 10 different receivers, I think. Yeah.
We just talked about just his progression and
Sure.
in terms of just picking out receivers. It's not just that one go-to guy who
Mhm.
can maybe catch 10 or 12 balls a game.
Right.
It just seems like he's going to making the right read, so to speak.
He is. I think he's come a long ways. he's starting to get in a groove now, playing more football. Like I said, I mean, he didn't even play last year. We redshirted him on purpose and didn't play much in 22. And I think he's just now seeing, he made a couple throws the other night that were like, wow, but we're used to seeing it. But then when you go back and watch it on tape, because I don't have a great vantage point sometimes from the sidelines, but seeing some of the little things that he does on tape, man, he's getting really good. But the thing about the distribution is I think that's just our system and our offense too, because if you look at it through the last few years, we've had a lot of guys catch passes here. And that's good because we don't want people just to key in on one or two guys. We want the ball spread around, and sometimes it hurts us in recruiting because, you might have a big-time receiver, and he's like, well, your leading receivers only had so many catches. We're like, yeah, but we're winning games, and, you got to play without the ball here. And some guys like that, some guys don't. Some guys just want the ball, all the time. But that's the tough thing about it nowadays, Great questions.
After a game, after 2 straight games where the team hadn't played its best, but y'all came back and won, could this be a springboard into a good rhythm moving forward?
Man, you hope so. I mean, every team is different, okay? And if you look around college football, every season's different. Every week's different. And he said it. You're talking 18 to 22-year-olds. And, at the end of the day, man, my job depends on 18 to 22-year-olds, But I'm the idiot that's doing it, so. But no, what I'm trying to say is that's just college football nowadays right now. The portal's changing everything. I think the days of having one dominant program and what Alabama did with Coach Saban for years, I think those days are done. I mean, one of my best friends, I coached him, Mike Norvell. Come on now. He's a heck of a football coach. And everybody's they're on him. Well, last year he was 13-1. You know what I'm saying? But that's how quickly it can go nowadays. So you just got to stay on it. You got to coach the team you got to the best of your ability. You don't get the team you want, you get the team you build, and you just got to keep building it. And we never stop building our team, even though we're in the season. We're still building our team right now, trying to make them better each and every week. Right?
So I know you're a team guy, but as far as just individually moving up to number 2 all-time coaching ranks, Delta State, what does that mean to you, and also closing in on the all-time record?
Yeah, well, it just means I've been here a while. I'm blessed. I'm blessed that they've kept me here this long. Yeah. It was weird because I thought I was the number 2 last year. That's what I was told, but now I guess I'm the number 2 this year. So I got to get the math right. But I am excited about that. And it just shows, I guess, what happens when an administration sticks with a coach and they start believing in a coach and his coaching staff and what we're doing. And just been here a while, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Those guys, McCool, Chadwick, Dixon, those Coach Chad, Coach McCool, those are legends. I don't view myself that way. I'm just a guy that's here in this time and trying to do the best I can do. So, but yeah. So 70, 72, I don't know what it is, but it's still pretty good, I guess. Anything else? All right, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Go Statesman.
Thank you, Coach. Up next, men's soccer program this weekend went on the road to Spring Hill along with the women's soccer program as well, but kicked off their Gulf South Conference play. Friday they fell Spring Hill 3-2, and Sunday came back and tied with West Florida at 2-2. And so without further ado, I'll bring up Austin Jackman, head coach for the men's soccer program.
Thanks, Braden. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Thank you for coming. Friday was a tough one. Gave up one shot in the first half. Get to halftime, it's 1-0. that's how the game goes. Sometimes it's frustrating with that. Did well to battle back to get to 2-2, and then a little disappointing. A minute and 40 seconds after that, conceded to make it 3-2 after doing all that hard work to get back, and then needed a response on Sunday. Gave up a soft early goal yesterday, 8 minutes in, and then responded really well and dominated a top team in the region for 30 minutes, and then battled really hard that second half to get a result 2-2 and make the long journey home a little less painful. So without further ado, I'll open it up to questions.
I know the previous weeks y'all were creating chances and weren't getting goals. This week, two goals each game. Just talk about that aspect of it, because it looked like y'all did a better job at converting on chances.
Yeah, for sure. On the flip side of that, we also conceded a couple more goals this weekend, so we can't get in unison with that. But like I said, we battled real hard this weekend, got back into both games after being down, which is a positive moving forward. So.
Talk about the way Mason kind of battled back on that last game. I know he had several saves on Sunday, which kind of helped kind of preserve that tie.
Yeah, Mason did really well yesterday in that second half. We were under it for the majority of that 45 minutes, and he had some key saves. Came to collect a couple crosses that relieved us of some pressure, and just overall good goalkeeping performance from him yesterday. So continue looking to build on that.
As a team overall, how did you feel that they bounced back from the Spring Hill game on Sunday overall?
I mean, that's all you can ask for. Kind of laid an egg on Friday, and then all we asked for was a response, and we got it. Like I've told you guys, we've got an older group that's been around the block a couple times, so needing them to give us a response on Sunday, and we got one from them. So I think they're a little disappointed over the weekend because there was more points to be had, and we were in both games. But like I said, a good building block moving forward.
I was just curious. I know soccer, in terms of ties, that's something that is a part of the game. Do you take more of a positive coming back to tie a game, or is it more of a negative that you take away when you see another team that may come back to tie it against you?
A little bit of both. We talked a little bit about the negatives, but I mean, like I said, we gave up a soft goal in the first 7-8 minutes. Just kind of gifted them one, but to bounce back to make that 2-1, and then I can't remember. I think there was 14, 15 minutes left when they equalized. So it was good that we battled for 30 minutes, and I mean it was hot down there, hot for them. Not something we've been used to. We've got another tropical storm coming as well, so proud of the group. They gave us everything they had yesterday, and ended up in a draw. And who knows, down the road, that point may determine seeding in the GSC tournament. So anytime you can go get a point on the road on a Sunday of conference play against a top team in the region is a good day. So
more or less, is it a tie on the road more gratification than a tie at home?
Yeah, for sure. Especially on the road on a Sunday. You played less than 48 hours prior to that, so legs are heavy, and if you start following Sunday matches in the GSC, they get a little crazy. So
this upcoming weekend, y'all got Christian Brothers on the schedule, and then y'all return home for Union. Talk about those two teams coming up, and I know y'all got to be excited that y'all are going to have a home game coming up.
Yeah, no, excited about this weekend. Two well-coached teams, tricky opponents. Both teams have a good group of players. I know CBU's got an older group. Union's got some transfers in. So they've improved from last year. So it'll be two tricky games, especially with the weather on Friday. I don't really know what's going to happen, whether that's going to be on turf, grass, location, all that stuff. That'll be determined on Thursday. So that also throws a wrench in things, just trying to plan with that. But two very well coached teams. Christian Brothers always going to be a battle. They're 2 hours away. It's a rivalry for us when it comes to men's soccer. So take it game at a time and looking to get 6 points this weekend. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Go Statesman.
Thank you, Coach. Our women's soccer program also got 1 point on the weekend with a tie on Friday afternoon, and then Sunday played a very tough West Florida team who's nationally ranked, I believe, 23rd in the country. So without further ado, let me welcome to the podium head coach Chloe Kane.
Hello, yeah. Obviously 1 point for us this weekend, probably looking for a couple more than that, especially with Friday's game. Hoping that is a valuable point once we get a little later down the road, and really hoping that doesn't kind of turn into 2 points lost. Yesterday we faced, arguably I think probably one of the better teams we're going to play all year, and it's a tough test for us, and ultimately the best team won, and they showed their quality. I think we had positive moments in that game, but at the end of the day, it's a 90-minute game, and when you can't execute a game plan, good teams are going to take advantage of that, and that was kind of what happened later on in the second half for us yesterday. So, any questions, ask away.
Against the Spring Hill, just kind of looking at the numbers, it looked like y'all did a pretty good job of getting chances. Just talk about that game a little bit, because it seemed like y'all got plenty of chances, but didn't look like y'all capitalized when y'all needed to.
Yeah, I think, recurring theme for us, I think we spoke pretty similar to this last Monday, was, we're getting in the right places, but we kind of lacking that composure and that clinicalness that we need to kind of put games away. I think, especially in the first half, from set pieces and from open play, there's moments where, their goalkeeper probably wasn't in the position she should be, and we just need to do a better job at recognising those situations and taking those chances. But if you can't put the ball in the back of the net, you're not going to win games, and we need to do a whole lot better at that. I think, in the second half, a little bit disappointing for me when I look at that second half. I think, it's becoming a little bit of a theme for me, is that we almost get a little bit too emotional in the second half, and we're chasing the win so much that we almost forget what we're trying to do. I think in the second half we went into that knowing that if we played in a certain way that we would be able to have success, and we just didn't do that. I think we got a little bit caught up in the emotion of the game and being so desperate to win that we came away from what we're good at and what we felt could win us the game. So need to do a better job at kind of executing there, and as I said, finding ways to win games.
On Sunday, what was the biggest thing, the way West Florida plays, that makes them so tough?
I think it's just the quality that they have in their roster. I think number 7 for them is arguably the best player in conference, probably one of the best players in Division 2 soccer. She's a transfer from Vanderbilt, so that kind of says what you need to know. And we had our hands full with her, but if you look at her stats from yesterday, I think she had 2 shots. So we handled her well yesterday, and we had certain things in place to not allow her to have success. And credit to Kaylee Harden, she played lights out, not allowing that girl to have success yesterday. But they have many good players. So yes, we shut down the best one, but when teams have quality, they're going to find ways to score.
This upcoming weekend, you'll play Christian Brothers over at their place, and then scheduled to return home. Just talk about how much the team is looking forward to playing those 2 games and eventually looking forward to being back at home.
Yeah, I think CBU is a game that I think means a lot to a lot of players. Within our program, it's always a game that people want to win, and as Austin said, somewhat of a rival for us. For me, I want to win every game. Every game's a rival game for me. I don't really like losing very much, and so as we look ahead to this weekend, I want to win both of those games. I think that's what we need right now. We need that confidence, and that starts on Friday. I think CBU, they're 0-4 right now, and I'm sure they're looking at us like we want to be 4-1. 1-4 come Friday, so it's a big game for both teams. I think we both have a lot to prove. For us, we need to win and do the things that we know we can do, and go and win on the road more than anything. And then for them, they need to win. So I think there's going to be kind of a lot at stakes for both teams going into that game, and then obviously looking at the return on Sunday, finally able to be back playing here in Cleveland. I think that's exciting, and again, hopefully we can get good crowd out here and have a good home opening win for us here against Union.
Of course, even though y'all are going to be back at home Sunday, you still got one more road game on Friday. How important is it just for the players to kind of keep focusing on one game at a time?
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that right now. I think all eyes are on Friday and beating CBU. Obviously, the games, they do kind of come thick and fast, but as I mentioned, it's a game that means a lot to our girls. So I know for them that they're taking it one game at a time, and all eyes are on Friday for us right now.
West Florida, this is one of the measuring sticks, one of the bars that everybody perhaps is trying to perhaps reach in the conference. What kind of indication did you gain from your team in terms of how far you got to go to maybe reach that bar?
Yeah, I think West Florida's a quality team, and I don't even. It's tough for us to compare ourselves to them right now. They have a playing style and a coach that has been there for a very long time. So when they have that established culture and they bring girls that are able to fit right into that, I think and have such a structured playing style, I think it is easy for them to kind of build consistency and consistently challenge in this conference. I think obviously for me, as in my first year here, we're still somewhat establishing that. My hope is that before too long we are able to have a more clearer playing style, and we can recruit and have players in the program that firstly fit that as a player and are going to bring us quality on the field, but also align with kind of what we're looking to do off the field too. So yeah, are we where we need to be right now? No, we're not, but it's a process, and it doesn't happen overnight. I think with the players that we have in this program right now, I think we're happy. I think there's a lot of potential, and it's just continuing to develop and invest in those players, and give them the tools to take us in the direction that we want to go in.
Are you still evaluating your players, or you gotten past that stage?
Yeah, I gotten past that stage. I think for us, we have what we have right now, and it's developing those players, creating confidence, and allowing those players to feel prepared and feel ready to go out and kind of execute the things we're asking them to do. I think, is there still some times where, especially yesterday, we played some people and played in a different style that we don't normally play, so somewhat evaluating a little bit yesterday, but I think generally speaking now we kind of understand our players and understand their qualities and how we can succeed with the players that we have right now. Thank you very much.
Perfect time for the backdrop Well, again, I'd like to thank you guys all for showing up this week. This week we have only 2 home contests. Men's golf right now over at West Point. This Friday, our men's and women's swimming and diving programs host Alabama at the Ronnie G. Mayers Aquatic Center. And on Sunday, as both coaches just mentioned, the men's and women's soccer program are home for their first conference home conference game against Union. So again, thank you guys for showing up, and we'll see you same time next week.